Hi everyone, this is Raz from YChina, and welcome to a new series, Y Talk, where we invite China experts to talk about the most current hot issues. The topic today is about what people think of the concept made in China. I realize that many people are still in the old China of 20, 30 years ago. That is completely different than what I experienced myself living in China the past 12 years. To discuss this topic, we invited a China expert who has devoted the last 20 years of his life investing in China in the fields of science, technology, and manufacturing. This person also happens to be my father. So please welcome Amir Gal-Or.
Hi everybody.
So first, let's check out some of the comments we saw online that made us really shocked about people's conceptions of made in China. And this post that's made on different websites like Instagram and Twitter, it's called 19 hilariously bad counterfeit products made in China.
You can see from the different comments, you have some things that are cheap and simple, and then you automatically think, okay, this is made in China. And I've been telling this to people for the last 20 years. You can get everything from cheap to quality, from high end to lower end. It's according to the demand. Made in China has been improving the spectrum amazingly in the last 10, 20 years.
There's a picture of a person that shows face masks and he's very happy. And then you flip it and it says made in China and he's sad. Like, first of all, a lot of the face masks are made in China. And
almost all of them.
Yeah, and they're saving your lives right now.
I don't blame people for their thoughts. This is just about education, and you just have to be out there and show the reality.
Right, and that's why we are opening this series. Get real people that have real experience in China, seen a lot of what's going on there, to give us insights. A lot of them are really just stereotypes from many, many years ago. And I think it's time for us to refresh our thinking. Next, let's tell you a bit about our personal experience with Made in China. At the end of last year, my dad and I went to see firsthand what it's like to live and work in a massive Chinese factory all the way in Shandong province in China. The experience really shocked me. We realized that a huge Chinese manufacturer's aluminum only requires 30 workers per many hundreds of square meters. I was also very surprised to see that a lot of the factory workers that I thought need to be relatively less skilled, they were educated in a lot of good universities and they were very technical. From first-hand experience, the made in China factories that we are all enjoying the products of are actually come out of high efficiency, technology-oriented assembly lines.
Well, from my experience, actually, the Chinese manufacturing assemblies has gone a long way. It's extremely efficient. And what I've seen, for example, in Dongguan, Huawei is a representative of the Chinese industry. Every 28 and a half seconds, you have a mobile phone in this terminal for mobile phone assembly line. And the number of workers actually being used has dropped from in 2013, it was about, let's say, 86 employees for the same assembly line, and now it dropped to 15. So this huge drop, at the same time keeping the quality and keeping the efficiency, it shows the fact that you can implement AI, data, and engineering into one line that improves the output, very high quality, new features at the same time.
Similarly to Huawei, the factory that I have been to, a lot of the products that I viewed firsthand in that factory are quite reliable and safe and are very likely to hold for a long time. There isn't any plagiarism of any assembly line. They're using machines from all around the world, the most advanced manufacturing. That was quite impressive.
As you know well, I've invested in many Chinese manufacturing companies, many Chinese enterprises during the years. When I look at the company to evaluate it, especially with our technology background, we look for the R&D capability, we look for the quality, we look for the talents. I mean, you really want to see top talents that are sustainable, meaning they have a history with the company, they share the same values, they have a future career plan.
What about patents?
Patents is one of the indicators to the level of R&D. And actually, China in 2018 has increased year over year an additional 12% in the number of patents in the United States. It's also increased a lot in Europe for the last 15, 20 years, quite dramatically actually.
Actually, no, recently I read a report that shows that among the top 20 companies with the largest number of patents, only 3 of them have double-digit growth over the years. It was Ford, Huawei, and BOE. So what do you think the reason is for this?
It has a lot to do with how much you invest into the R&D. If you look, for example, for Huawei, they had 80,000 employees focusing on R&D in 2018. And then when you move to 2019, it went up to... So you can see the growing investment into the human capital and the talent. If you look at the amount of money invested, in 2018, it was 14.1% of the revenues. And 2019, Huawei is actually rated on the top 5 EU industrial R&D investment rating, ahead of Apple and Intel. Reflects what Made in China is these days. Focus on innovation, focus on quality, dollars, higher investment in terms of talents.
And the next question to you is that when you invest in a company, I see you often look at annual reports. But for me, annual reports are very confusing, a lot of numbers. I don't get what's the key element at annual reports that we should pay attention to.
When looking at an annual report, you really want to see the momentum. You want to see the changes from the previous year. You want to see certain geographies. So it's a great opportunity, especially in the month of March, to have a full annual review of the company performance and the trends it's going through.
So Huawei is not forced to have an annual report because they're not a public company, but I know that they every year release one through KPMG as their auditor for authenticity. And a lot of people are expecting it this year, right? Because Huawei was in the news and it was very big topic all around the world in 2019. So what do you think will be the impact of this report coming out now?
They filed last year 5,000 patents, and given the 5G, I'm sure the next year there will be also a high number of quality patents submitted. We'll see the issue of the 5G impact.
Oh, it's 5G, right? 5 is a big year of 5G. So do you think that drove up the sales because it's still an early technology that's not adapted everywhere? Do you think it has a positive impact or negative impact on the report?
I think fundamentally it has a positive impact, although sales may be slow, but the recent virus situation has emphasized the importance of the 5G and the business potential of it.
You know that they're investing a lot in 5G in the world of medicine and health because of the current coronavirus spread around the world. They've actually assisted many hospitals in Wuhan. It was around 3 days' time they set up these 5G base stations. The first remote consultation hospital in Huashanshan Hospital was set up. So I think despite the economic turmoil that the world is at because of the coronavirus, it's these new applications that companies are trying to solve in the online 5G medicine that's gonna make their annual reports look better than people expect. You obviously care a lot about when you make your investments, for sure, right?
Yeah, I think when we invest in a company, we always look at the level of innovation, the capability of the team to innovate, and execution capability will be a major factor.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. So to conclude this talk, Made in China is already something more about ideas in China or innovated in China rather than all purely just old style manufacturing assembly lines like you would imagine.
In general, Raza, I think that investing in the near future in some of China future assembly lines, future manufacturing, future execution capability is a good investment. So, we should consider that.
That's awesome. Right, so I think we also, in the video, we were mentioning the new annual report that's coming out of Huawei. So everyone is welcome to predict with us what will be in the 2019 annual report of Huawei. Here in the comments below, please tell us. Thank you for supporting.